Lady Lena, I
Mm,
would say
exams.
I say yes because I know there are people that probably have to do it for whatever reasons,
Mhm.
whether medical or injuries or, and if you fall in love with someone, you fall in love with them hopefully first before
Okay.
the sex comes into play.
Okay.
So, and then we got older couples that are, all the way down in their 90s still holding hands. And you could pretty sure
Aw.
know they might be intimate, but I don't think sex as we know it is what they doing. So I say yes.
Okay. Okay. You say yes. All right, Miss Angie Boo.
I'll go last because I have a whole story.
I gotta go last. Okay, so I always like to look up facts and stuff. I did read something saying that like 2% of marriages are actually sexless um, marriages. Also, a lot of times there can be, different reasons why it's a sexless relationship. Where someone can be deployed in the military. Sometimes that can last for a lengthy amount of time. You have health reasons. Um, but it all depends on if both partners are okay with being in that relationship and not having sex, then I think it can. Now, if you have a relationship where one partner is uninterested, in sexual intercourse, and the other one is, that may be a problem. You said have a problem. Yes, you said we
Lots
have
of
a
problem.
problem. So, but again, I don't think a relationship that is supposed to be based on love um I don't think sex should mean whether it can survive or not. Now, again, I'm all about the circumstances. So it all depends on. All right, now Miss Angie Pooh. Go.
Okay, so I don't like you folks because this kind of topic hits home.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, not too long ago, in that previous relationship in band camp,
Yeah, we're trying to grant that. I'm gonna have to not look at
so my previous relationship, we were together for 8 years, and within to the relationship, the 6 year mark, something happened. We stopped having sex. And I didn't understand because we both were like super attracted to each other, like in love. Like, we hit the 5 year itch, it was gone, and we was like, oh, okay, we love it. So, anywho, um, he just changed. I noticed he was working a lot because it was like audited time, and he was just busy and he changed. I was like blaming it on, we worked in the same place, so it wasn't no cheating going on. I definitely knew he wasn't cheating. I just knew something changed. So anyway, long story short, I'm trying to be the best girlfriend possibility, get the ring that didn't mean a thing, but did mean something that I wanted, but I was trying to be best part. So I goes and I take his vehicle to the dealership to get an oil change. While I'm in there, because his car had all these devices that you push this button, this open up, this that. So they was like, push that button. I open it up, and out comes the blue pill. Apparently, he has had high blood pressure for a year, and his member didn't work anymore.
And he hid that from you
And he hid it from me
for a year.
for one whole year. So it was times where it didn't work at all. And I was like, what's going on? And, he didn't eat right. He ate a lot of bad stuff. So I was like, oh, maybe, his diet is off. I'm making excuses because I started tripping. I started thinking something wrong with me. My tush got a little bigger, I'm a little extra crazy. I'm a little extra crazy. I be tripping sometimes. The kids getting older.
Don't trip.
So I was like, wait, maybe it's me. That I started hitting the gym even harder because I'm like, girl, I gotta get myself together. That's my man. Everybody seen him. He was my dear. Was it Denzel?
Yes.
Yeah, Denzel.
Yeah.
He was my Denzel because everywhere I went, I was like, oh, this nigga fine. Oh, this person is fine. This man is fine. This guy is super fine. So with that being said, we did have the issue. And before I decided to cheat on him, I broke up because it was not working. And sex was very important to me at that time in a relationship because good loving keeps you happy. And I like to be happy. I'm a whole happy, goofy person over here. So that's my story.
Okay. So yes, and no.
In so many words. So we waiting.
Cut and dry.
We waiting for you.
Yeah, tell us. Do tell.
Let me say, in my younger years, that may not have worked.
Okay.
In my younger years,
Okay.
as I think I've gotten older, more mature, it becomes a point where it's not about the sex, but the security of other things that you need to ensure that this household
Yeah.
is continuing.
Yeah.
The things that need to be done are continuing. I think it can work. I do believe it can work. I do know of individuals where it has worked. Was in a relationship where the gentleman couldn't function properly, and but again, like Andrew, when it's first hitting, you're like, okay, what? I know me, and you know what I'm saying. I know me, so I know I'm good. So what is the problem? And again, like you, it wasn't another female, but I don't know when it comes to, I think some men are very open and honest, as we realized last week.
Yes.
But some men, I think that's a macho thing
Very
if it's coming
sensitive.
from a male point of view, because most times when males are not intimate, it's usually something wrong in that area. So to me,
Or they don't want to be, they just not into you.
Well, they're not into you. If they're
Exactly.
not, like I said, it's something wrong. If they're not into you, it's
Yeah.
not working. So it's
Listen, the body language.
Oh, the body. If y'all can only see these people.
I'm telling you.
I think it can last, but it has to be some type of communication.
Yeah.
You can't let that other, and even with females get to a point where there's no desire in our body.
Yes, I heard that.
It works, but
I don't know about that, but I heard about that.
it works in both ways. And in reading it, you're right. I don't know. I read a lot, but in reading about it, it happens with us too as we get older.
That's
where
right.
we may one day reach a point where it's like, yeah, I'm good. But until that time, if one is not, it still becomes a communication, and it becomes a love. Like Lady D said, it's a maturity thing, I think. But
Yeah.
if you really love that person, you work together to work through it, and you work it out. So there are other ways of intimacy.
It is. It is.
Get creative, but it takes a special
It
relationship.
takes a special relationship to be able to go through and say, whether it's none at all or once a month or once in a blue moon, that love may overshadow whatever. And I really do believe, I'm still one of those fairy tale girls.
Of
I
course.
believe in Prince Charming and the happily ever. Even though I was married before, I don't believe because one didn't work that love can't continue. I really have always believed, but I think it always you can work through anything if you really love that person, and if keyword if you communicate. If you're not communicating and this ego is getting in the way, it's not gonna happen. So,
And I think it's not just communication, but it's honesty. And I think that a lot of times in relationships, not only are we not honest with our partners, we're not honest with ourselves.
Yeah, I was
So
about to say that.
yeah, if
Yeah.
you can't admit to yourself what's going on with you physically, then you can't even begin to fathom how to explain it to your partner. And now you're raising their self-confidence and self-worth because now you're causing them to question, is there something wrong with them? And then it can happen vice versa too. Like you said, this is not, there are a lot of men walking around with ED, a lot. And they are not addressing it. They are not discussing it. They are just pretending like it doesn't exist.
I asked, like, is that not a barbershop talk?
No.
But you can get the blue pill in the barbershop. But it's a great temporary relief.
That and if you're just taking a blue pill, your number's up.
you're playing with yourself.
You're playing
For sure, for sure.
So, that's not even a option. That's not even a good option. That's not an option. It's not a solution. But again, are you being honest with your partner about your health and your circumstances?
I don't think that men are honest with themselves.
Exactly, because
It's a very hard pill to swallow.
before, no pun intended. No, okay. So before we came in the studio, Angie and I were talking, and it was like that. So number one, how do you found it in the car, and I literally had a similar situation.
Isn't that
And
crazy?
yeah, and it was like, why would somebody keep this? Something as just as simple as a discussion, especially if you trying to be the communicator and they see you, Lord, maybe I need to lose some weight.
Exactly.
Maybe I need to. But some men actually outright get lashed out on the woman.
Because they can't deal with it.
Yeah, and then some men start to like drift outside because it gotta be this woman. It's gonna work for somebody.
Yeah. If I try it over here, maybe it'll work for them. Maybe it's
Let me go check that red bone I liked when I was 15.
But this is the craziest part about it is, like, my husband is 7 years older than me. I know for a fact that there is going to be a time on his end or mine. We're getting older. All of us is over 40 right here. You know what I'm saying? We all are going, okay, well, some of us are 19. Some of us are 19. Forever, ever. But, there will become a time where we are not, even though, I got 6 personalities, I can add on different kinds of hats and flip it and turn it and all that stuff. It will be a time where real life sets in. So back then, I used to look at sex as like 80% mandatory in a relationship. Now, as a married woman of a man that's older, it's important, but not that important.
Okay. But then, and you know what? I think the problem too is I think we forget about the intimacy.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was just going to say.
There are a lot, and I don't want to just place this on men, but just in general, like if you're just having sex, like, hey, what you doing? What you doing?
Who just have sex and what you doing? With your partner? With your partner?
When you forget about the intimacy, in your day-to-day relationships, then that's when sex becomes really important because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
So if you're compassionate, if you're sensual, if you're intimate on a regular basis, sex becomes less of a big deal.
Mhm.
And some people use sex as I'm sorry, sex as I'm happy,
Sex as
sex
I'm stressed
as
out.
I'm stressed out.
Sex
It-
isn't just checking.
Isn't that shopping too? All those things.
all of those things. Shopping for things to have them stop. But you know, it is unfortunately a band-aid or the tool that a lot of people use to
Tool
communicate.
that a lot of people misuse, and I think that's
To communicate.
that's
yeah.
the key word. We misuse it. So if we were using it properly in our relationships, then it wouldn't be valued the same way.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Because I think when the question was asked, it the long the it cannot. I guess the relationship be long lasting. And I still think it can, even with what everyone said. I really think it can, especially when you're saying if it's more than just sex. It's more
It's
how
intimacy.
charming. It's how much fun do you all have when it's just you two and there's no sex?
Yeah.
Do you go out? Do you travel? Do you just talk?
Pillow talk.
Well, it's pillow talk, but it's just I just think it can be long lasting. I do. I really do.
You
Because
do remember?
it's a temporary phase. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's going to
Temporarily?
happen. No, it's temporary.
It's
The
a big
ability
March
to
was like, go.
There are a lot of women out there that, believe it or not, have problems having sex.
yes, medical
It's-
problems.
yeah,
It's a lot of things.
Sex is painful for some women. You know, you have some women who just no longer have that drive. So there's a lot of issues that people can fall into these categories. So, you know, it cannot be the end all be all. You know, if you can't have, and again, like there's so many other options that it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, get creative, communicate, start to focus on intimacy.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of a lot of people have used that as the makeup, and then when that goes, you're faced with actually facing this person and working through something. You know, how do we work out this problem now since we can't just jump to this?
And also thinking of where we say men deal with ED, but what about after we have children? For those of us who have children, I know when my ex-husband and I had children, I didn't want to be bothered. And it wasn't again, like as you say, it was a temporary. But
It
my
was still.
yeah, I think my situation is very unique and very different because my first child was a wedding night baby,
Oh.
and our second son was a
The follow-up.
separation baby.
Oh,
Oh, that's a oops.
And both of them were birth control. So
Oh,
it was like it's a very unique situation. But like you said, after the birth control, that made my body very funny, and it made me just like it. So
there's a lot of medications that make people, you know, not want to have sex, men and women.
their libido.
and now, yeah, you just had a child, so that's not your
Postpartum depression.
postpartum depression. You know,
And
chest
you
area
can-
hurt, you take your flow, and you just don't.
no.
You just had 8 pounds go up. You just don't want to be bothered with anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I remember specifically, I was especially conscious at being a breastfeeding mom.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and yes, I have a high libido, but at that moment, like you said, I'm thinking about, feeding these babies, feeding this child, and that if they get stimulated, I'm gonna waste the baby's food. I mean,
You
that's
don't leak.
yes, that's what was on my mind. like legitimately, and that happened 4 times because I have 4 children. So you're right, it was a temporary moment.
But it's still something that it still affects.
But you remember our grandparents used to have separate beds. Why? Did something happen or occur?
Because some of see, that was I think, I could only think.
I want to not think.
Yeah, but I think that was the only, not the only one. I think that's what a woman back in the days could do.
Okay.
Yes, that really happened. I thought that was just on TV.
No. Yes.
I thought they did that like for TV, like those old
No. Girl, I got my husband got a whole man cave. Talking to the people.
That's different. Like,
No, like I've seen it.
No,
I didn't
my
know how
grandparents.
common it was.
Yeah.
I didn't know how
I
common
didn't know
it was.
why.
Whole separate side of the
Yeah.
house.
I didn't know why
And
either.
joined at the dinner table. Good morning, sweetheart. Fed each other
Exactly.
breakfast, had nice talk, and retreated to their individual rooms. And then my baby dog.
No.
But I just thought it was on TV. I spoke to my grandma about it. My grandma was very open with me, and my grandmother was like, he did me wrong. He had other kids out there, and that was it for me. Let him stay over there.
She shut it down.
You go over there and stay over there. So that was her reason.
Together, but we're not intimate. We're not going to sleep in the same bed.
Because remember, I don't think divorce was not as
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
no, not even it was like forbidden. They still had that your first husband is your only husband, and they really trashed you for that. So a lot of them didn't have a choice, but that was like, okay, you go on your side, I go on mine. You gonna still stick around here and help me raise these children. We gonna still be a family, but this is how it is.
Now, with that being said, do you get to a point where you're not intimate with one another due to medical reasons? That's like permission to have an open relationship?
Now, and that's a whole other.
It's content. I got tons of it.
Thank you.
Hi, welcome.
I am calling in. I hear the topic. I see my girl who up there. She's making a symbol to call in, so I thought I would call in.
Oh, where you from, caller?
Oh, welcome.
Yes, Teresa.
What are your thoughts on today's topic?
I think, because I'm going to be doing this on my channel too, I think it's pretty important. I think that I've been with my husband married 10 years, 10 and a half years. We've been together almost 19 years.
Okay, congratulations.
Sometimes women, we tend to get very comfortable in our marriages where sex is almost on the back burner.
That's
Even
right.
myself, I had to wake up and stop doing that. So I think that we have to make sure we keep the sex in the household.
Amen, sister.
Thank you. Thank you, Just Teresa.
Caller, now that was interesting.
I really do believe that because I see it from all aspects. I got a lot of close girlfriends, and they are barely having sex with their husbands. And I'm looking at their husbands thinking to myself, now that's an attractive man. I wonder why that is. I think we just get lazy, we get comfortable, and we think it's okay. It's not okay.
Now, do you think it's always the female who's not willing to, after a certain time, get comfortable?
Perform.
Perform? Do you think it's always on the lady?
No, because I have a friend whose husband's like that, and she'd be practically jumping on him, and he'd just be like, I'm tired. He cannot take the relationship for granted.
True.
I've married 25 years and left her husband for that very reason.
We can't say sex was important to her.
Sex is very important. I mean,
Sex was
back
important to
then.
her.
Back then.
Yeah, that individual, it was important for her.
You know,
Yeah.
But we definitely appreciate you all the way from Arizona. We nationwide, baby.
Holly, you almost up there with us.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
yes, so we're glad you got someone running. Thank you so much, Carla, for calling in. We appreciate it. Keep it locked right here.
Thank you.
Hi.
We saying hi to everybody.
And if you want to stream everyone, you can do that on radio1000.net. And you can stream on in and hear what we're saying as well. If you don't want to call or you're in the States and, can't get us here right here on the station, that's how you contact us.
Can we just say the phone number out real quick?
Sure. Phone number to call 340-774-8255 or 774-TALK. Caller, you are live on the air. Tell us your thoughts.
Good evening.
Hi, welcome.
I had my first child, the older man. Our sex was great, wonderful, okay, but came down with diabetes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What I just do again, because in my family, it runs on the woman's side,
Oh.
and I wasn't aware of what to do with the man. So, I didn't know what was going on. And first, I had my first child with him, and I didn't want to leave him because I care about him, I love him, and we had a baby together. So I, stayed with him. I was gonna leave him because he had a problem. Even one of his family members said, I would have leave him. I don't know, how you do it, but I was gonna leave him. That's what one of his family members stated, and I am not gonna leave my man because he has a problem. I'm gonna work through that problem. Even bought a dildo for me.
Woo, girl. That's my friend. Can we say that?
Okay, Caller, I don't mean to cut you off, but can we say
A toy.
A toy?
Can we say that word? Can we say activity toy, not the full word?
Not the D
Sorry,
word.
yeah, he purchased me. I'm sorry.
We know what that is, though.
Yeah, but FCC ain't playing that with us.
Okay.
I said, yeah, it is a woman can, but FCC ain't playing that.
I just okay. Yeah, so that's one toy. Because after I got my child, through the spirit, I was ready to, have some fun, and he couldn't perform, so he bought me a toy, and I stayed with him. So I feel that women stay with their partners, and it's not a problem with the woman's side. It's basically the men, because of their pride. Sometimes their pride gets to them, and it's the pride. So I feel that women really stay with a man, because I did, and I was a young woman. And as I said before, we did not break up because of that. Now, I'm not sure if it was going to change down the line. It didn't rectify the situation, but I stayed with them.
Do you have regrets?
Part?
No, Stan.
No, I didn't, because I really loved him, and I certified him, and as I said before, we had a basin sex before that situation. So I was willing to stay with him until his health was rectified, or to see if it was going to be rectified. And I guess I just had a thought. So, when you have, why would I just leave my man because of that? Because I just had a child with him,
Right.
Yeah, most definitely.
So, and I played with my toy for a little while,
You made it work.
Get to
Yeah.
know. Get to know.
Kudos to you. You made it work.
That's right. That's right.
yeah, we did not break up because of that, with other reasons, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
for
Thank you,
sharing.
Kala Kala.
Appreciate ahead. Keep it alive. Go ahead.
Not every woman has is in a relationship. I know the relationship show, and not every woman that listens has is in a relationship. Um, can anyone call for other like woman situation and want to hear y'all opinion? Is there a time frame that like one time it could be like open conversation about anything you want to talk about? Because
Great
I want y'all
suggestion.
opinion about something that I want to bring up.
Okay, that is a great suggestion, caller, and that's something that we definitely need to put into the atmosphere to make it happen.
Yeah.
Usually the men kick us off with a topic, and then we piggyback off of that topic, and then we give them one, and they could and then from there they piggyback. We ended up on Friday. So maybe we can put it somewhere to where we can just say, okay, it's
Sometime
gonna
at
be
the top of the hour.
Open chat.
for this
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
That's a great suggestion.
That's a
Thank
Great
you.
suggestion.
We'll
So
take
we
that to the
definitely
board.
can do some more. But thank you for that. That's a great idea. So we really like that one. We definitely.
Thank you, caller.
Well, okay. All right. Now
And we got some opinion, sister.
Good Lord.
you may not want our opinion. Okay, all right. So give us
And be careful what you ask for.
We'll announce that which one we can do that on. But that's a great idea to just really allow the listeners to call in
That's
and
right.
ask the question. To ask of us. That would be the
Most
question.
definitely.
So,
Most definitely.
Yeah, thanks, caller.
Yeah,
right,
thank
right.
you.
You're absolutely right. So yeah.
Don't worry,
like
we're
that
already
idea.
taking notes, so we should have an answer for you soon.
That's right. I wrote it down.
Yeah, we got it.
Got it in my notebook.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, thank you so much. We appreciate that, Paul. That was a good suggestion.
Yes, it was.
And we're always open to new ideas to even make this show even better because the show is for our listeners, to empower, to educate, to inform. So,
And we do have
anytime.
enough time.
We
do
have
have
A whole 2 hours. 2 hours. I talk, you talk, we talk.
We talk, I talk,
What?
we talk.
Okay.
Thank you all. Yes. Can you have a long-lasting relationship without sex? And we're going to continue that as we come back after this break. So don't go anywhere. Radio 1 AM 1000. Keep it locked right here. We'll be right back.
Mosquitoes can't spread coronavirus, but they can.
Angie Pool. Do you know Angie?
Who's that?
Who is she? Oh, Angie Pooh.
Hey, it's me, Angie Pooh.
Looking for conversations on the hottest topics between men and women? Join Vantage Point Ladies Edition every Wednesday and Friday, 7 p.m. until 9 p.m., right here on Radio 1 AM 1000. Catch them, Miss J, Lady D, and Angie Pooh, every Wednesday and Friday, discussing the hottest things between men and women. Tune in now to Vantage Point, Ladies Edition.
That you are sitting in with the ladies of Vantage Point. It is our night every Wednesday and Friday night. We are right here on your airwaves, ready to give you the great topics that we have now.
I like it a lot.
I like it. Can you have a long-lasting relationship without sex? So, callers, don't forget the number is 340-774-8255 when you're ready to call in and give us your thoughts. We're right here listening. So, ladies,
I was thinking while we were on a break, and I was like, that probably, what about those relationships that actually started based on the sex?
Like a booty call?
Yeah. Like, imagine, like, that's how the relationship started. Like, that sexual chemistry was crazy, and by, your first date, that's where you were. So that would be taxing on a relationship that started like that. Just something happened.
Flatline.
We didn't say flatline.
Nobody said flatline. That's the thing. It doesn't matter how it started, as long as it progresses to something else. Yeah. Because you can have that can be the thing that broke. Together, but then you develop. Have you ever been with somebody that chemistry will brought you together, but then would develop afterwards is something so much
That's
more?
all well and true, but to remember, people did leave a relationship when that went south. So
I mean, again, circumstances.
Yes.
It all depends on it depends on the circumstances. It depends on the people and their personalities.
And it depends on the big O.
Or so yes, it depends on the circumstances. Those are all circumstances, because you can get the big O without certain things working.
Oh no, it's a whole different factor. Come on now. Oh.
Love part for the person. If you can't stick with a person,
In times of difficulty.
Yeah. That's better or worse. right. That's the part that's better off for work.
I didn't say that in
Our
my
caller said,
yeah.
ain't everybody married? Ain't everybody came into a relationship under
Exactly.
those terms? Now remember, I am Mrs. Yes, it can happen. You know, but I had to put my other shoes on for a minute and think about, yeah, like you said, in my younger years, I might not have been so understanding.
Not at my tumblings.
Yeah, and then okay, so all of us are at that age where they say our hormones kick up.
Yes.
So imagine if we were in that situation with our hormones going crazy. So we, you know, it's a little objective. Like for me, I'm like, oh, I love my husband, and I would never, we would figure it out. But I have to.
You have to be in
I
a
have to pull
predicament.
back my thoughts and
But-
be like, you know. So if like that caller said, she had to find workarounds. They had to find workarounds. That's how she stayed in it. You know.
But they didn't break up because of that.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
but they found workarounds.
they found workarounds.
And the workaround was a work around.
Mhm.
So, but something was still taking place.
And
But that's the point. That's
Yeah,
the
but
point. That's
we
the
can't
point.
assume that something can take place. Suppose when somebody's in an accident and they're in a vegetative state or in a half paralyzed state,
Flatline.
Lord, that can't, you know, there are situations where that can't happen. The other person might not be able to be pleased in any way.
Now that's predicaments. I mean, well, we got circumstances and predicaments.
that's
We
still a
make
relationship.
adjustments.
Yeah.
We make adjustments, but it's
Severe situation.
It's still a situation.
You have paralysis. If you could talk, if you could move your mouth.
So did you not see Andrea Day's video?
I rise up.
I rise up.
Oh, I rise up.
In the video, it was like he was
You're
in a
broken down and
wheelchair.
tired.
She had to, so it looks like, you know, that's like a paralyzed from like the neck down.
I didn't
She's
know that
still-
song was about that though.
Did you not see the video?
I seen the video. I didn't
He
know it was that
was
though.
a paraplegic, and that's what she was. She
Wow.
was talking about taking care of him, regardless of what.
Right.
Taking
So
care
when
of
she
him
said you're
regardless
broken
of what.
down and tired and
Angie, no, that's
Okay.
not what the song. It was just a video.
no.
I guess, but even with that, again, that's kind of a prime example. But
Like what? What else can you do?
That was a love. That was not a replacement, a workaround. That was straight out love.
It was love. So you can. It's possible
It
that
is.
you can.
I'm not loving you because we're not having sex. Because I can still love you and not.
But are you gonna stay?
I don't know who you talking to. Crickets, flatline. Listen.
Well, listen, we have 2 hours, and Angie and I are gonna make this late.
Exactly.
Okay,
We
we're gonna make this like me and you are clever apart.
But my thing is, again, I really think it's very hard for me to say that it can't work.
Yeah.
I can't
it
say that
depends
either.
here's a good word. It's not for everyone.
There you go.
There you go. Great.
There you go.
We're quoting, it's not for everyone. For those that are, but to me, again, if you really love someone,
You can definitely.
you can't. But if the love is reciprocated, if it's two people in love, it can't be one-sided love, and then the other one is just there. You know, it has to be both of them willing to work together.
The part I don't like, and being though I have a personal experience with this situation, I don't like it. It broke in me. It made me broke.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of it do fall. I mean, but us as women, we have our issues too. You know, like you said, having a baby, menopause, hysterectomy, all kinds of stuff. We go through our changes too. But I feel like we are a little bit more open about our postpartum and things like that. We do tell them, like, I'm going through something. They don't tell us. We have to find out and figure out.
like you said, that's not even barbershop talk.
That's not even
That's
barbershop
not
talk.
that's not in front of the liquor
You
store
don't got no
talk.
OGs to talk about
That's
that.
yeah, that's one of the things that people would stay tight-lipped and they'd be like, I still
Stop
could
knocking
get
them
down.
down.
Yeah.
Knocking you down. He ain't doing nothing.
He would get in front of the men would get in front of the doctor and don't say nothing.
But also with a woman, we have to say both sides.
Yeah.
But I wonder what percentage, here come my percentage.
Go ahead, give it to me.
This is statistics.
Mhm.
Do you think have that problem on this island but won't talk about it? Well, not just on this island.
Oh, I'm about to say, let's not just do
I'm
the
talking
island.
about period. So out of 100, what out of 100%, what percent do you think would be honest enough to say, "Hey, baby,
Not many.
this is what's
Not
going
many.
on."
Barely 25%
I
on the
would
side.
say 70 have experienced the problem
Mhm.
for whatever reason, whether it was temporary or permanent. And I would say maybe 10% would actually come out and be honest and say,
But they don't even understand that that's a form of communication in your relationship. That is a part of intimacy. You being honest and saying, hey, baby, my member got an issue. And my member, because that's anything that we go through, it's a us, it's a we, it's not a you. Because something that's affecting you is definitely going to affect me. Because once again, if you can't take care of me mentally, physically, and financially,
and emotionally,
that's a conversation that we need to have. And we need to be open and honest about it. You may just not, that whole we may not be into each other anymore. And we need to go, because it is things. It's things. Like you can have an open relationship. I see you on a Tuesday and a Thursday, baby. I got my friend over there.
You are live on the air. Please tell us, what are your thoughts?
Most of my favorite ladies.
Most.
Good evening. Wait, which one do you not like?
We're fine, thank you. How are you?
I am very well.
Who starts a conversation like that?
Which do you think? And I think there was one lady who was off away, and I alluded to what I wanted to say. But do you think some women after child, or some women after they get married, they just let themselves loose? And maybe because of their bodies,
Same way he don't shave his balls.
your body.
He's a bastard.
No, I'm all
Completely well. I already have a husband. I don't have to do anything because I'm already married. And then the man, I'm a single man point for now, gets disinterested because it's like, yes, I love you. And it doesn't mean I don't love you, but the physical attraction is not there.
Okay, I can stroke you either
And it's
tonight.
like, he doesn't have a desire to be with you physically. He's a provider.
Are you in a relationship?
I want to stroke his ego. I want to stroke his ego.
Just let him go.
No, you have a time to call us. You have a right to their opinion.
Stroke
If
his
you don't
ego.
like it,
That's not a question. That's like where you located. I can't find out if you in a relationship. You calling a relationship opinionated? No?
To yourself, whatever. How much do you think
Okay.
that may play
Don't learn it then.
within a relationship that is lacking of intimacy?
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. So I am gonna have to say I understand your point, and
We lost him.
No.
oh no,
Yeah.
I do understand your point, and quite honestly, I think it goes both ways. I think sometimes people do tend to get comfortable in a relationship, whether it be the man or woman. Sometimes they do forget what they did to get up that chase. They're like, I'm married now. I could be a little bit less lenient. When it was spicy, maybe you had a nice stock of pretty little numbers, and maybe now you're comfortable and you got the children and you got sweats and spaghetti stains. I think I can't deny that it does happen.
The
So,
honeymoon phase is
yeah,
over.
I think that's what he's speaking about.
Yeah. Yeah. It happened in real life.
Yeah, it happens in real
Yeah.
life. So I cannot not say that I don't get the point. I think it definitely sometimes can play a role in a relationship and happen.
And I think I understand what you're saying, but it always seems to put the pressure on the woman.
I
And
said
that's
both.
what I found, when sometimes when men call, it's always what the woman's role is to be. You forget, like you just said, we just had a baby. We're taking care of children, we're taking care of a household, and we're trying to please you. So I think it becomes a point where not so much that we just get comfortable, we just get damn tired. And
Overwhelmed.
I think it comes to a point where it should be some type of compromise. And if I've had 5 of your children and you're complaining because I picked up weight, well, there's no time to work out in the gym because I have 5 of your children that I have to take to dance class, basketball, football, wrestling. It's those things that I think that are sometimes forgotten. Um, Reverse it to a woman. If a man is working 16, 17 hours, he's going to come home tired. So jumping on his bones at that time may not be the right time. But instead of saying, oh, he ain't never giving me none, he always working, well, he's working to provide. So I do see what you're saying when you can see both sides, but really show both sides and the circumstances behind it. Now you do have some women who just say, yeah, I got a man. But the point is, in taking care of all that we do as women, I think it's diminished. And then we're put in this box like we're supposed to be able to do this and do that. And we say we can do it all, but sometimes we can't or don't want to.
I'm about to say, sometimes we don't
We
want
don't
to.
want to. And then trying to please everybody for everything, we do that as women. And it has to come a time where we have to look at ourselves and say, can we do it? Or do we want to?
So I have been in that situation before. And when the communication happened, this is how I handle it. If you don't like to see my unmanicured nails and my feet not done, tell me you're gonna take the children today and send me to the spa. Send me with the money and send me to the spa. So I flip it, and I think it's just balance. If my hair isn't looking right, say, hey, even if, babe, I think you need to, for me, it's the barber.
Yeah.
So, hey, when last you been to the barber?
And it looks good.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call and make an appointment for you, and I'm gonna try to come home. Yeah, so I always flip it. I try to tie responsibility, like it's not always on me.
I feel like you guys are asking too much from a man. This is the same men that can't even tell you the member not working.
Oh Lord. Well, no, it's flipping it. It's you have to make him aware. I am all about opening my mouth. So he can say, well, babe, you've gained a little weight, and I'm gonna say,
Quick to
okay,
tell us.
But I'm gonna say, well, you've gained a little weight too. If he did, let's work out together. Let's sit down and put a schedule together. Like I literally put the onus on you to work with me.
Be suggestive. I get it.
No, I demand it sometimes.
She said I demand it.
We are at the top of the hour. You're sitting in with Vantage Point Ladies Edition. The man gave us the topic of tonight that we're discussing, and it's about, can you have a long-lasting relationship without sex? And that was some good conversation.
Let me shout out to the men. This was a nice topic.
Big up.
Big up to the men. This was a good topic. This was a topic that you can really sink your teeth into and
Let's
get
talk
some
about
good,
sex.
Angie Pooh just made me lose my train of thought because she just silly today. But I love you, Angie.
Okay.
But yeah.
I find that again, we have 3 of us that say it can last, and I think mine is more so on a point of view of just being older and more mature. So I think as you get older and more mature.
So who the 3 that say it can last? Y'all 3. Oh, okay.
Oh, Lord.
I've been married.
too, like I said earlier, it can work with the consistency that you have really, really good communication and honesty. But the scary part about that is usually the breakdown, the downfall of most relationships. Lack of communication, lack of honesty, lack of understanding, and
blaming.
And blame, yeah,
And blaming.
and that's something that I think, no matter what topic we tackle, is going to always be an issue. Is I think women, we point fingers at men, men point fingers at us, and until we really take a deep look at how the other side is feeling, and
Or
really
if they're
address,
feeling.
or you said, is it feeling?
Or if they're feeling.
Flatline.
It has to be said, I'm sorry.
Carla, you are on the air
Carla.
live. Tell us what your thoughts are. Carla, you're on the air. Tell us what your thoughts are.
Hi, good evening, ladies.
Good
Evening.
evening.
I think it can last without sex. Sex is a part of it, but men can, once you love each other, you can work through anything. And like you was just mentioning, communication,
Mm-hmm.
that is the whole key to maybe like the glue to almost every relationship.
Yeah. Good call. Good answer, Carla.
Thank you,
So
caller.
I think it can work.
Carla, have you ever, and not to put your business out on the street, do you know someone who has been in that relationship where it's been one person more passionate than the other, or there's lack of passion thereof?
Yeah, it was. I
Putting it on
was.
the beach.
I had kids and, he's so busy like women. And I was out of it, but he understood.
Okay. So that's the good thing, that he had an understanding mind for it.
Exactly. Like if you're working as a team and you understand, it's like it's a great big part, especially when you're young. But as you get older, it becomes less, but it's still there because it's many different levels to have intimacy.
Yes.
So I think it can work.
The key word there, intimacy.
Keyword intimacy.
Yes.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you, Carla.
Keep it live right here.
All right.
Y'all know that Keisha Cole has a song that says, I should have cheated.
Yeah, but it's not about cheating. It's about can you have a long lasting relationship without sex?
But I don't feel like that the men are going to be like on the woman's perspective, like, oh, you ain't giving it up, I'm gonna go get it from somewhere else. That's the way I look at the men to be. As women, we are no, I can't talk about all men because I'm definitely not a man, so I don't know. I'm just speaking in general because my best friend is a male. I got a husband, I got a couple brothers, that type of stuff. I feel like as men, they are more, they make it we just give
We're
them to
compromising.
yeah, we do. We make it convenient for them, and they just be like, all right, big booty Judy over here.
I think that go ahead.
I disagree, and I think again, it's circumstances. It depends on the people. It depends on what type of relationship you're in, because there's so many men that complain. Like, you ever hear the thing like, oh, well, once you get married, you could kiss your sex life goodbye. So yeah, but men say that all the time.
But they always pin it on us, though.
I'm just saying that to say the fact that's a complaint that's out there. There are men that know, like, okay, well, sex is gonna change, and I'm gonna be okay with it because that's what I'm signing up for. I think depending on what kind of relationship you're in, I think men would be okay. I think that if there is just some way for them to get one off, that'll be good. They'll roll over and go back to sleep.
That's what I mean. Big booty Judy.
It doesn't have to be that. Again, we're talking. There's a difference between sex and intimacy. Just because you can't physically have intercourse because of whatever, whether it's a medical, situation or whatever, that doesn't mean that you can't get it done. You know what I mean? So that it's like, why is there issue? I don't think.
Can I tell you this? Can
I
I
don't
tell
think
you?
she's saying it's an issue.
Yeah.
I think she's stating that literally that is how some men will deal with that.
Yeah, but then you're saying that they're gonna end up cheating and go to Big Booty Judy, but you don't have to.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but it
we know that,
happens.
but it happens.
It
It's reality.
It happens. It happens with men that's probably gonna do that anyway, because that's what the relationship for them is based
It's
on.
like they're testing. It's like a way for them to really test. Like, is it really? I've been with this young lady and everything's been great, and all of a sudden
No, but that's
stuff
different.
isn't
That's men who
happening.
are in denial about their medical situation, and instead of taking up ownership for it, they want to go see if it's their fault or your fault.
If it's
Yeah,
still
well,
working or is it flatline?
Well, I think that's literally all she was saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't a decision,
No.
and that's all she was saying. That's a factor. It is a factor.
I mean, because like, you know, I noticed that Jill Scott did a video.
Yes.
Oh, we got to call a caller. Call a caller. That's more important.
Yeah, good night, ladies. How y'all doing?
Mr. T.
How y'all doing, man? Yeah, nice topic tonight. I enjoying our topic, ladies.
What part? What part?
What are your thoughts on that, Mr. T? Can a relationship be long lasting if there's no sex involved?
That's a
Man,
Mr.
you know,
T.
sister, they're gonna break up this, so they're gonna break up like earthquakes, sister.
That's a Mr. T. Mr. T.
He said no.
He said
No.
Gotta figure something out.
You come from a hard day work, you know what I'm saying? And you come from a hard day work, you want to come home, you want to get a nice, you know, you just want to get a tension release, man. You gonna tell me, you gonna hold it back for me?
But Mr. T, what if it's not on purpose? Maybe it's just something, a medical issue. She's not feeling well. What is it that would make you say, okay, baby, I understand and I'm going to stick it out with you?
Well, when you say medical, it all depends what you're talking about. Okay, if she can't function in the bed, can she use her hand? And
He didn't say anything wrong. He couldn't.
I'm being real with you, you know, because
I feel you, my brother. I feel you. We feel you, Mr. T.
As long as she could attend to your needs and get it popping, then there's no problem, right?
correct.
So, Mr. T, I have a question for you.
She's in a physical condition, shape, and so forth. If I have can use and
That's what I would ask you earlier. If it's
you know what I mean?
even if
Because
it's
sometimes,
because
I mean,
it's
when you come
you could,
out
it's
there working, you stress
emotional.
out, you want to release, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You tension off your mind, you know? So that make a man happy. Whatever the man don't get angry, he feel like he could just kick up the wall and throw 5, 6 cars. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. T, I have a question. This is Lady Lena. I'm sorry. So, okay, so we just heard you how you feel if it's the woman. What about if it's the man? Are you in the same mindset? He got hands.
Once she come in and she wanted, the man can't do it.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
He have to go downstairs.
Downtown. Go, Mr. T. Downtown.
Nobody was trying to hear me. Thank you so much.
Or you can.
Welcome.
Okay, so we understand this. You have to work it both ways. It has to be
Work it out.
more than one way to release that tension. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, sister, yes.
Okay, we can understand that and appreciate that. But let me ask you this: you're not, if a situation ever happened where you couldn't be intimate, you would not blame the young lady, would you? Would you be honest with her?
No, I'll be honest with her.
Okay, we appreciate that.
We definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. T.
Thank you, Mr. T.
All right, let me just say this time.
We appreciate that. Bye-bye. We knew Mr. T was calling.
He kept it 100. He kept it 100.
I don't understand why it's such a big deal. There's so many different levels of intimacy. You know, there's so many different instruments.
Positions,
My,
situations.
so Lady D,
Why? Why should that stop a relationship? I
I
don't
don't
get
think
it.
we are not saying it's gonna stop it. We are throwing all the different scenarios.
That's
So
right.
your scenario is you can find other ways.
If that don't work,
Exactly. But our scenario is there are scenarios where there is no other way.
there's no other
So
way.
it's still gotta boil. It's like your scenario
Your
is
scenario, the person is a vegetable.
it happens. It
And
happens.
mine is Big Booty Judy is the opposite.
Yeah, exactly. We just holding their hand, we kissing them, we love them, but it's like I just can't. I can't. It still is a relationship to me.
Yeah, because
So
you
I
can get a big O in all
exactly.
different ways. I mean, I
He
got
doesn't
this.
have to physically do
Yeah.
anything.
Hello, good evening, ladies.
Evening.
It's Mr. Single calling.
Oh, Mr.
All right. You guys got a very good discussion going on.
He can get it. No flat line there.
There's many different ways
Oh, tell us.
to get on the highway.
Really?
And there's many different ways
Tell
to
us.
get on the highway.
Woo! Take me to the highway.
If, for ladies, I will let you know,
Ooh.
if your man is paralyzed,
Mhm.
that
Okay.
don't mean he can't work.
Ooh.
The same way, don't mind that he's not awake. You could make him awake
Ooh.
to touch. He still can smell.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing with men, we are aroused
Visual.
by touch, seeing, feeling, smell. And if you take the eyes away, the body still works.
True. True.
You still can get arrive and satisfy yourself.
I know that's right.
You know,
Tell it.
I would say about the sex without the having
wasn't there before.
having
But it's blinking now.
relationship
You being watched? Let's do something.
is all about respect and what you want. Sometimes
Camera was
we
not there.
too much
It was.
forget
It's been there.
that it's not all about us.
Wow, okay.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, if the person is sick and cannot do anything, like Mr. T is talking about, he said, "Oh, so what a woman can think," but there's a thing called vaginal dryness.
Yeah,
Most people
that's a
don't
real
talk
thing.
about it.
Exactly, exactly.
Cannot have sex during that time. She needs to go see a doctor and get medically treated for that. It's not that she don't want to have sex with you. It's that her body is not making having enough moisture in it to that she can have sex. You know, I'm a well-traveled guy over the
We laugh.
female
We
body.
laugh.
There's many different ways
They can't see it.
to
She said, we.
make a woman arrive without penetration.
Oh.
And you don't need, and it is about basic communication. And I'm going to show you. If you and your lady sitting down talking, slide your hand in the panties.
Oh.
Or her bottom.
You don't need no penetration.
Oh.
Just simple rubbing and caressing, and y'all just talking. And whoosh,
Yeah, we on mute.
You're on mute. I can't do that
you know.
because
There's also most men, like most women, don't understand neither. The body is
can't get
a
a close
That's
to
a
get me off.
network.
I'm pissed.
That's a
It
fight.
has feelings that you could arrive from, like
You ain't gonna
a
play with me.
woman's neck.
Down south.
There's with him.
Figure something out.
My neck, my back, my.
You don't need to penetrate most of the time.
Are you?
Okay, all right, Tyler.
That's sex. There's also one of my favorites, the underarms.
What's the other?
And you could actually
No,
Yes.
the enter
full orgasm.
right here. You can reach your full
By
orgasm
sucking
right
under
back.
the arms and using your tongue in different ways to stimulate under the arms.
Did he put the penis under his arm or something?
Number two,
Our final position.
yeah.
The big L.
So to answer your question, yeah, a relationship can work without having to have penetration on something. Now you have to divide it. That's penetration of sex. A relationship can
just had
work
to,
without penetration of sex. But you have to know how to communicate your body for you to get what you need and the other person to get what they want.
Okay, Tyler, we
Thank you,
appreciate it. Thank you for the
Thank you, Mr.
education.
Mister.
Thank you, Mr. Singer. We got another caller coming on. Mr. Singer gonna have people licking armpits.
It's one of the most beautiful organs to generate an orgasm, but most people
Don't
And why is he single?
it would happen. It's just a form of touch, and it gives you the same type of feeling and stimulation that you would have if you was going downtown.
Okay, Mr. Tyler, Mr. Siegel, you got to hear his charity, so you gonna let you off the land for a moment. We gotta take this other call, but please keep it locked here. We really appreciate the education that you've given us. So keep it locked.
Can you guys give out your website again? Because I was trying to get my sister on the show in the States. She's been annoying.
Oh, that's where I'm from. Radio1000.net. Also, Angie Pooh has a Facebook page. She's going to give you that information.
So I am on YouTube. I am streaming live. My channel is Angie Pooh 215 channel. Angie Pooh 215 channel. And you can see us twice a week.
Can't see me.
Well, you gonna see us. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna talk about it. And we definitely appreciate you, Mr.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
Kyla.
you.
Appreciate it. Kyla, you are live on the air. Please tell us your thoughts.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt your session there.
Favorite Kyla. Hey, Kyla.
Color.
Go ahead.
Oh, he lost him.
Kyla, did we lose you?
That's pretty good.
Kyla, you are live on the air. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was like, sorry to interrupt your session.
One of our favorite callers. He said we were having a session.
on voice interrupted. But in any case, y'all are going to get some paraplegic killed.
It ain't no fun.
They may end up walking again. Stop playing.
Don't flat down here.
You see? I agree.
Kyla, what are your thoughts? Do you think that it can be a long-lasting relationship without sex?
Yeah, I mean, it can, but
Kyla, you stuttering. Come on.
Tell us. We want to know.
a lot of ifs and ands about it.
Okay.
And it's definitely not going to be the same type of relationship.
Mm.
And the question is, does the one or two parties can, are they fine with not having sex ever again in their life?
Oh my gosh.
I know, broke your
And
damn
so,
heart just
you know,
saying
where
that.
they are,
Said never ever.
days of like,
Ever, ever. We're good.
When you just said never ever, you should have
Never.
saw the faces, the body language. Like, never
Ever, ever.
you know, why, the reasons behind it, you know, but if the person, I think at the point, if the person's a paraplegic, I think at that point, this is no longer a relationship in a sense, you know, of the traditional sense. I think, you know, at that point, you're pretty much done taking care of the person, you know, and I don't think, so like if I was a paraplegic, I would be like,
Put it right here. Put it right here. Put it right there.
you know, it's so glad it
Raise
becomes
your
a
hand if you get it.
but I'll be like, you know, you go ahead and have a normal
He
relationship.
said, put it in. I heard the
You know,
inter
you're not
arm.
gonna get that from me.
I ain't never hear under
You
the
know,
arm.
I wouldn't
That was the first one.
hold them to a commitment
I'm gonna get my
not to
underarm
have
black.
sex with anybody else.
Be ready.
I'm
I'm going on Friday.
Yeah. So I wouldn't, I mean, that would be, I don't know, I can't, that would be awfully selfish of me, it seems like. It seems like at that point in time, a lot of things would have new meaning to me, you know?
Okay, yeah.
That's appreciative.
Yeah,
I like that. Thank you. Yes. He wasn't selfish at all about it. Yeah, he's not a selfish lover.
Yeah, he's not as good as the other guy.
Oh, okay, yeah. Woo.
But Angie Poole and I appreciate that
That's
perspective because we're feeling that you're telling your lover, or you're hoping for your lover at that point, like, you know, you still got some in you, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to be in that position.
You know, if I truly love them, it seems like that would be my only perspective I would have at that point in time. You know, to have anything else would be kind of selfish, I think. You know, at least in my viewpoint.
Amazing. Thank you, caller.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller.
Appreciate that.
That's a different perspective that we didn't talk about.
Always comes with something.
He comes through and not flatline. Somebody in the studio was having a moment.
But we gonna leave that alone,
Yeah,
right,
ain't
Angie?
gonna talk about it.
We
Ain't
gonna
gonna
talk
talk
about it.
Girl code.
I know if somebody at home washing their armpits.
Girl, they got the razor.
He said. Repeat what he said.
I can't.
Okay, he said
What
that.
did he say?
He said there are areas under the arm that can give you just as much stimulation as the other general region.
Is that for men or women?
Women. He said there is a
he could touch, stick,
no.
push.
He said he could stimulate.
So young man need to shave your underarm.
He could have been talking about y'all too. You know, he just said in general. We gotta take a break.
We got one. You know what? We gotta take this.
Take it.
We gotta take this.
Take it.
We're gonna take this call, and then we'll have to take a break. We are live on the air. Please tell us your thoughts.
Oh.
All right, well, call back after the break.
Don't be
We're
scared.
gonna take a few seconds. We will be right back. Keep it locked right here to Radio 1 AM 1000. And this is Vantage Point, Ladies Edition.
Looking for conversations on the hottest topics between men and women? Join Vantage Point Ladies Edition every Wednesday and Friday, 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. right here on Radio 1 AM 1000. Catch them, Miss J, Lady D, and Angie Poole, every Wednesday and Friday discussing the hottest things between men and women. Tune in now to Vantage Point Ladies Edition.
They a lie. We ain't never got Wi-Fi. You know we ain't never got no Wi-Fi. I can show you my other phone right now. I ain't never got no Wi-Fi.
Advantage 20. Sir, the men, they are on tomorrow for us, and we're definitely going to give them a topic for tomorrow to discuss, but not just yet. I'll hold on to a little bit closer to the end. We definitely got another caller. Caller, you are live on the air. Please tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, good night, man. I gotta give a big up to that brother there, you know.
Yes. Which one?
He's a specialist at all the topics. And he living a life to be out there doing foolishness. And, hey, look, I give him the honors, man. I thank you, man, brother. To see, like, yeah, we should live. And, you know what I mean, and get our head, you know, sometimes you need people to, like, counsel, complain, so, you know what I mean, you can make good decision, and I appreciate that, Adrian. You know what I mean? You know a lot, and he's a specialist, and he always on the right track, you know?
Yes.
In his life to be out there doing that thing, you know, like, I know I get myself in a lot of ways, you know, but listening to him, I know, man, you know, we shouldn't be going and getting ourselves into problems, man. And I appreciate that, brother, for sure.
Thank you, caller. Okay, thank you, caller.
We appreciate you.
So, come on.
No.
Yeah, please, I was walking by this lady yesterday, and the time when I'm dropping from the train, I hear peeling them now, and
oh, okay, Cameron. Okay, yes.
You don't need to point his shoulder with him. This one thing right there, I was up there by the other sister, and she had a tree.
Okay.
And she's there picking some time up for her, you know. And she said, I hope it's sweet, you know. I said, well, Tamon ain't really supposed to be sweet. She said somebody gave her some, and she had to put almost a whole bag of sugar in the Tamon then. So,
Okay, all right, caller.
Thank you, caller.
You know, as we continue on our topic, I just, again, I haven't changed my mind on that. I still stand that a relationship can last. And then as we had the brother that was giving details of what can be done and what it can. There are other ways other than intercourse and maybe even intimacy, but there's other forms of intimacy. So I still stand by my thoughts.
I think you can do it all the time.
Just lick armpits.
Yeah. It's gonna be it. Like that's gonna be her advice for everybody.
Everything is armpit. She gonna go home and try it. She gonna go home and try it. Yeah.
You are what? Because Okay, caller, you are live on the air. Please tell us your thoughts.
Yes, this Mr. Single again.
Oh, Mister.
I call back to address. I don't know who was talking about the nail thing
Oh, that was Lady Nina.
and all of that. But I have an issue with stuff like that. Sometimes you have women, you sometimes it is like catch and release for some guys. Sometimes you get the keeper. But
We butterflies.
when you get the keeper, then it turns into a catch and release later on. Because some women, when you are out there dating and you trying to be the best, to get the best guy possible on the market in your life. And then sometimes after you get that guy, it's like in the middle of the relationship, it's like, okay, I already got it, we already married. I could drop down a notch, you know? And sometimes that dropping down a notch leads you to slide out the hill, you know? And you get the bad hair, you know, the unmanicured fingernails and toenails, the dry skin, you know, you're not putting on the eyelashes anymore, you're not doing the lipstick anymore, you don't put on the nail polish, you dress like an old woman instead of sexy. Guys have problems with that. And through my years of dating, I come to a solution. And my solution is, okay,
He knows that somebody likes him.
are complaining that much, do something about it. And it's not taking the money and sending her to some place. No, I turn it into a communication day where I had a lot of things to say and talk about. And I turn it into a day. I go, I get all the manicure stuff, I get the nail clippers and the polish. Because that gives me time enough with the person I love to talk about certain things without the anger, without the frustration. And it gives her the time that she can feel special and relax. And, you know, she's saying, wow, I'm doing this for me, you know? And that makes her feel
On Fridays, we should get brunch.
You wouldn't believe how much time she would put everything
Who
else
wants
she
to
had
threesome
and start,
swing, the new relationship?
address it.
Okay. You're not here?
This here today is going to have this amount of time. I'm not wasting time doing that
date
anymore.
with children or
That's Saturday. She start organizing her life. So then, with her organizing her life, you now get at least about 6 hours in with her. And the rest of the time is when you're not
connected
around,
to you,
you know? And if most of us practice these things, finding new ways.
Let me write that down. I got 50,000.
I need to do with it's the communications part that we need. Sometimes the women have to understand when the man comes home, he wants at least an hour for himself. Take a shower to relax, to let his body just get
I'm
in
starting
the
to not
flow.
like him.
Then he's able to listen to your problems. But you have to groove it in, you know. You have to meet him halfway sometimes. Take the shoes off, you know. Have his bag prepared, you know, because that's what I do. I do that whenever I'm in a relationship. I make sure if I'm the one get home,
it's a family
that
affair.
bag is there. It's ready and waiting.
How involved is
You know,
his and her family
I do
members?
stuff like I prepare the dinner. I make sure that her favorite movie is there to go. You know, something is chilling in the refrigerator. She doesn't have to come home to the baggage. She already is coming from work. She wants to come home and relax. So that means we guys now have to learn how to take care of the kids, how to cook, how to
Whose
clean,
side? Whose side of
and
the
the
family
most
is more?
important, how to relax your
It's the
environment.
family
So
affair.
when your wife
Who's
or girlfriend comes
Should
home,
how
she doesn't come
should
into a full
the
blazer.
family be?
You
Okay.
know, when she comes in the house, she's smelling Hawaiian smells. Going through
Okay.
the house, it's like, wow. You know, and the place is clean, and she's like, is this my
Dr.
house?
Dr. Recall.
My man did this? You know?
Right, right.
Extra time in the relationship, you know? And we have to learn these things, and we have to listen to each other. Sometimes you're arguing, but somebody needs to shut up.
Okay.
Arguing, you can't get that. It's a whole other different thing, but guys can work it. Take time. That when you sit in and you want to conversate, take a brush, go through your lady's hair with a brush.
Oh,
Do
I
it with a
love when
comb,
he
but
do my hair.
easy, because you guys kind of rough. But you have to teach him how to do certain things with your hair and stuff and things. Because it's just nice
No,
when
he does a good job greasing your hair.
that release a lot of stress. And when you sit down and your man just come behind you with a brush and he's brushing your hair,
Yeah, he does. He know he has a great voice.
smell your hair.
He likes to hear him.
He likes to hear himself. That's why
These things have to be kept up.
if somebody else like to hear him.
If you have a problem with
My
somebody,
husband has.
you yourself say, okay, honey, we're not getting
No, but my husband
any
has.
younger.
My husband
So we need
I
to
am
keep
trying.
healthy.
Hey, go to the
And it's a
what needs to be
together
sent
thing,
to
not a
Dubai.
one
Well, I give my husband a pedicure and a manicure.
I do his video. Yeah, his hands are huge.
Well, that's the thing. Close up.
It's like you don't.
I have the opportunity to make it right.
Okay, Tyler, we appreciate that. We appreciate you dropping.
Thanks, caller.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. We'll keep it live right here. Don't go anywhere.
Definitely, ladies.
All right. He cracking up.
We are too.
Okay, so we said a lot. It's some things that we have to keep up for intimacy. I agree with him. When he was
Lick armpit.
talking.
So I do like the spin. This is Lady Lena. So I do like the spin that he said, he can do it. He speaks from himself, so he can do it, or he prefers to do that for his lady.
Yeah.
And he feels that that's an opportunity to get even closer to her. So I'm all for that.
Some of these men, if you sit them down and talk about they're gonna do a pedicure, you're gonna be missing a toe.
I'm happy you said it because I didn't want to be combative, but that's
I
don't know.
I don't know. Toes, you come back with 9.
I don't know.
I'm speaking from a personal place. But some men don't want that responsibility. Like my husband is 6'3", yeah, like double my size, and he'll be like, nah, babe, I would prefer you to, and I don't take that off of him. I wouldn't be like, oh, I wouldn't think less of him if he doesn't, or if he can't do certain things for me, but I would just be appreciative that if he does suggest. My whole thing is I don't care how it gets done, but help me to find a solution.
Now, my situation is different. My husband do grease my hair. At one point when we were first dating, he used to fold my dirty clothes.
The dirty ones?
Yeah.
Girl, marry him.
I did.
Amen.
Yeah. I mean, like, he is so attentive to me, like, and not to get personal, but he can touch me, and that's all it wrote.
But then, okay, so if all of a sudden your husband is not able to
Touch you.
physically satisfy you, does that relationship continue? And not putting you on the side, but that's something you.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah.
You really did. But I said that, he can touch me. Like, I didn't know that the inner part of my arm was a thing. And he taught me that. So he can just touch me and I'm just like, oh, I get the big O. So if we're not having physical intercourse, I think that we can make it. And like I said, I know that we are getting older. You know, I'm 50 years old. Like, yeah, finally.
We changed her mind at the end, at the very
end. I'm clocking out. I'm clocking out.
So went from 3 yeses and a negative.
I didn't say that it couldn't work. I said that previous Joker didn't work. The previous Joker. Is he listening? He's probably listening.
I saw you. But this is a good topic. You really don't think that, and I really appreciate that the one caller, Mr. Sale, educating us on some stuff, and of course our favorite caller, one of our favorite callers, he always comes back with.
So we got interesting perspectives too. So let's see. Let's rally what we got. We got a lot of yeses.
Yes.
From females.
Yes.
And more females tonight.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, and so from the males, we got she got to get creative, and I could get creative. We also got a male perspective, was like, if it's a point where I can't give her any kind of physical gratification whatsoever, I am going to allow her to move on.
Well, what if you wouldn't?
Well, that was his perspective.
No, but I'm asking
I gotta
you.
go. I gotta leave.
I meant to ask that. Would you want to leave? You wouldn't.
I don't think he meant leave.
Because I've had someone say in the relationship that I was in with that situation, I was thinking of letting you have something.
This is